Mr. Chairman, Ms. Puste, let me come to you. Did you watch the testimony yesterday where we had 12 different witnesses across two panels talking about FOIA requests?
I didn't watch it, but I was keeping up with it throughout the afternoon.
So you're aware of their less than flattering testimony as it relates to your particular involvement with FOIA requests? Maybe not yours personally, but the Justice Department. Are you aware of that?
Well, I don't know.
That it was less than flattering?
I don't know if I'd agree with that. I respectfully don't agree with that characterization. I understand, though, let me say this. I understand that, that requesters have examples of things that are frustrating experiences.
So what you're saying is that the testimony that we heard yesterday was just a few examples of frustrating, because that's not what I got from that. And I would characterize it as less than flattering. So let me go. I'm having a hard time reconciling your opening testimony with the testimony of a number of witnesses yesterday with regards to the Department of Justice and your responsiveness, because your opening testimony provided very glowing terms. So I guess my question for you is, on scoring different agencies on how they respond, who gets the best marks and who gets the worst marks on your scoring? Because I understand you score.
Right, we do an assessment every year. Let me
just who gets the best ones, who get, I don't need to, I've got 5 minutes, so who gets the best scores and who gets the worst scores?
Well, we have, if you look at the assessment, you'll see we have a range of milestones, over 20-some milestones. So we rank and score agencies on a whole bunch of things.
So how does the Justice Department score on those milestones?
Justice Department scores quite well on those milestones.
Okay, would you suggest that if you're setting the milestones and you're scoring the milestones, that the testimony from all these other folks who, if they set milestones, they wouldn't give you high marks? How do you give yourself high marks?
I actually, for the past 2 years, Congressman, have been working collaboratively with representatives from civil society to set the milestones. It's actually been a joint effort.
Okay, so let me ask you this then. Ms. Atkinson gave us an example of requesting a FOIA request and it taking 10 years. Her daughter was 8. She was 18 by the time the FOIA request. Would you say that that is a great response?
Right, no, of course not. Of course not.
Would you say that that response is unique, that there are none others like that throughout all the FOIA requests?
No, of course not as well.
So what part of violating the FOIA law that is very clear, I mean, you know the FOIA law, I would assume, and it gives particular responses. What part of violating the FOIA law does the Department of Justice condone?
Right. I think that it's important. It's important to look at areas that need improvement in FOIA.
Okay. So what part of the law does the Justice Department condone?
We don't condone. We endorse.
So you don't condone violating the law?
Of course not.
Okay.
Of course.
So I would think that would be your answer. Do you violate the law?
Of course not.
So you've never violated the FOIA law?
We work hard. We work very hard at my office.
I believe that.
To promote
question
transparency and promote compliance with the law.
I believe that. So the question under sworn testimony today is the Justice Department does not violate, has never violated the FOIA law. Is that your testimony?
So if I think what you're asking me is, do we ever respond to requests beyond 20 working days?
Is that the law?
And the law allows for extensions of time.
Okay, so with the extensions, have you ever gone beyond the law?
So I wouldn't characterize it as going beyond the law, because the law actually recognizes in many different aspects, the FOIA recognizes the reality, Congressman, of the need for agencies to take more time to respond to certain requests.
All right. Is there anything in the law? So let me ask it a different way. Is there anything in the law that would ever give you waivers to allow 10 years to respond to a FOIA request? Because I can't find it. Can you direct me to where it would be 10 years?
Sure. The way the timing provision is set out in the FOIA is, it's in section 6. There's a basic response time of 20 working days. There's a provision to ask for 10 additional days.
Right.
And then there's a whole series of steps that agencies can take if they need beyond the additional 10 days. There's a whole series of things that agencies
So
need to
can
do.
you direct me to
I
the
can-
actual paragraph
I-
and send that to
absolutely.
me where it says it's okay for 10 years?
Absolutely. I'll send you the paragraph that says that if
So
you
do you
need to
believe it's
go-
in there for 10 years?
What I know is in there is a provision that allows for an extension beyond 30 working days.
I yield back, thank you.
Thank you. And we would be